In its most basic form, Ableton Echo is just another delay device, but I'm going to show you an unconventional use for it from both of my tracks from my latest single. The first example is from the track Sonder. I'm going to quickly play you the synth which has the effect on and then turn it off so you can hear the difference. So that's with it on and this is with it off. So as you can hear, it's adding like a lot of character and noise to the sound. So the whole premise of this technique is to not use the echo as a delay, but rather as a tool to create character. So to do this, firstly, I turn the dry wet right up, I turn the feedback up, and I also turn the filter off as I want it to affect the whole spectrum. Then I turn the delay time right down to 1 millisecond. This means that there's no actual delay, as humans can't notice any delay which is shorter than around 40 milliseconds. This technique is quite common with actual delay plugins, like a common thing to create ringy and metallic sounds. However, with Echo you have more tools which can add character and a bit more sonic interest to the sound. So let's take a quick listen to what it sounds like with just those effects. I do have a little bit of reverb on there as well, but it's very subtle. So as you can see, you're starting to get like a more kind of ringy sound. You're starting to get a basically different tone and texture out of the sound. But the main kind of section we're going to look at is this character section here, which, yeah, you can see you've got noise, gate, ducking and wobble. So the first thing I added was this noise. So as you can hear, it's basically, I'm going to turn this gate on just because the gate is what stops it from ringing out, because this noise is like a permanent sound, which basically means if you turn it up, it doesn't stop, it just stays like that. So this gate here basically means that it's going to like block off the signal after minus 18 dB. So yeah, just make sure you do that, otherwise you're going to have noise constantly running through your track. So yeah, I've just turned the noise right up, and it's just adding like it's just simulating vintage equipment basically, and adding noise and character to your sound. And then this morph basically morphs it, as you can see there, morphs it between different types of noise. So you can see I've automated it here as well. So it's a bit more higher there, and then as you go up, it kind of more low end comes into it. So with this distortion after as well, it's really like distorting it and crunching it up. And then next we've got this wobble, which is basically adding like a vibrato to the sound, so like a pitch wobble. So you got the amount here, which again just determines how much of the wobble you actually want. And then the morph is just basically, it's just changing the rate of the modulation. So as you can hear, like if we turn the wobble the whole way up, you can hear it like a lot. The higher up you go, the faster it's going to get. So yeah, that's pretty much like the basics of what I did. As you can see, it's very simple, but it's just like a nice, easy way just to add some more character to your sounds, especially like digital synths, you know, like finding ways to create either tape, like analog kind of imperfections in your sound can just, make some it just gives them like a whole like lease of life. So using this echo is a great way to do that. I've also, so in the settings here, just quickly, obviously there's different modes. There's like stereo, ping pong and mid-side. I chose the mid-side mode because with the stereo mode, it makes it like really stereo, and I just wasn't liking how the stereo field was sounding. It was too like kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It just basically wasn't sounding right. So I put on this mid side section, which basically means that the mids and the sides are like both delayed by the same. So it's not creating that stereo effect. But to further kind of create a more stereo effect, I've delayed the offset here. So you can see you can like offset your delay slightly on one side. So it's creating a slight bit of stereo. It's very subtle, but it is there. And one more thing as well is just I added this hot driven tape preset after as well, which is from the dynamic tube in Ableton, and it's just basically just like crunching it up even more. So if we take it off, here it's just like bringing out the noise, and it's just distorting it a little bit. Finally, I'm going to show you quickly just how I've used this effect in Nostalgia, which is the A side to this single. As you can see, it's pretty much doing the kind of same thing as it is in Sonder, but this time I've utilized the automation of the echo time a little bit. So pretty much if you automate like a delay time like this, you're gonna change the pitch. So it's really good for creating kind of fills and ear candy and kind of flanging, pitch changing kind of sounds. So let's just take this example from the end of each section here. So if we just play it quickly, we got that, and then we also got this at the end. So as you can hear, basically if you're going from like a lower to a higher delay amount, you're gonna make the pitch go down. If you're going the opposite way, it's gonna go up. So it's just a cool little way to basically create some more fills and some transitions in your tracks. But other than that, it's pretty much the exact same settings. I did leave the filter on, so I wanted to filter it out in sections because I don't really need the low end anyway. And I did use it on stereo mode this time. So yeah, you know, mess about with different modes and mess about with different settings. You know, you've got this modulation section as well, and so much more in this plugin. It's such a neat little thing. It's very simple, but just try and like try and add it onto your sounds and see what kind of effects you can get, and see what imperfections you can get, and see, you know, how it affects your sound. And you know, you may not like it, it's not for every sound, but it's just a really cool little technique which, yeah, I think really added a lot of character to both these sounds and made them what they are. So yeah, thanks for tuning into my first proper YouTube video. I'm going to be uploading every 2 weeks. If you do want more kind of in-depth videos, I do have a Patreon, which I'll link below. I have, you know, track breakdowns, I have complete deep dives into stuff, I have a complete range of stuff, as well as samples, exclusive tracks, etc. And please go and check out both these tracks. I released them the other day. It's my first self-release of this year. It's called Nostalgia / Sonder, and I'll leave the link there below. So yeah, I'll see you again in 2 weeks' time probably.